Thank you, Angel, and Heidi. Ho, everyone. I wish I'd get rid of this reflection off my glasses. That'd be good. Wish I'd get rid of the glasses. That'd be better. How are we doing, everybody? It's Tuesday already, and interesting Monday, or was it up and down? I can make a case for a few things today, and I think that's probably the theme for the day for me, but I'll go through that in a little bit. First thing, of course, as always, we will have a look at the good old pound versus the US dollar and see if it's worthy of a breakout today. Well, yesterday, range was there to there. Today, range is here to here, which coincidentally or otherwise, we started the week here, and we are now currently 7 pips from that particular situation. That's a range, I'd have to say, but it's not determined by that really. It's determined by highs and lows of the range, and what we have here is about 80 pips. We're bang in the middle of it, which is cool. I'm inclined to say let's go today. Let me have a look at the bigger picture. 4-hour chart's telling me middle of the range again. Perhaps if I'm a gambling man, I'm going to say I've got no idea. Yeah, look, perhaps to the top of the range, but yeah, hang on, it doesn't look that great now that I'm looking at it. Breakout here, 80 pips to where we have to get out is probably there, so 28 pips. So that one's better, DR 150. Yeah, all right, we'll go with it. It's less than 1-to-1, of course, and that's not appealing to some people. I'm not too dusty with that scenario per se, but it has to make sense to me, and that kind of makes sense to me. DR1, DS1, I'll go with that. So let's place the order today, shall we? Now, the rules that I'm currently working under, right, is trade the breakout of the top of the range 5 pips above the high, and the breakout of the bottom of the range 3 pips below the low. Actually, that doesn't work for DS1, does it? It only works for today. Okay, that makes a difference. Monthly pivot, let me work that out. There to monthly pivot is 30 pips out of, what did I say, 80. Not real good, is it? Not real good at all. And to the high side, one more time, was 17. Where did I get that other number from? Okay, I was only going into there to there. Sorry, my mistake. No, not going to trade it. It's just ridiculous reward to risk. So no, answer's no. Let me have a look at this, however. That's a bit interesting. High of the day is there. So I'm trading straight into it. It's not a new high either, which makes it more dangerous. Let me have a look at this. You can probably see what's ticking through my mind here, those of you who know the slingshot. So risk on this would be 20 pips. Oh, you could just about squeeze in a 6-pip TP1. By the time the spread's taken, you probably won't, however. Look, I'm going to place the order, but not now. Why? It's a 4-hour chart. No, I'm okay with it. We'll place the order now. This is a genuine slingshot trade, guys. So we'll go with entry at pound US dollar, buying at 141.84, Stop loss is 141.65. So that's 19 pips. TP1. TP1, I'm going to have to take probably manually because there's no room there at all. 41.90. Yeah, 4-hour chart, 6 pips. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Let me pick another level. We'll go with 41.94. That's TP1. 1.4194. Okay. So I'll put that on the screen if you want to follow that. Pound US dollar. I'll put H4 as a reference, just so you know it's not the breakout. We're buying at 1.4184. We've got a stop loss at 1.4165. And we've got TP1 at 1.4194. Okay, there we go. Why have I got little SLs and TPs? Let me just fix that before I semaphore those. Does anyone know what semaphore is? Just as a matter of interest. I mean, I do, but came from naval. It's a naval term, I think, but I recall it from my horse racing days, where they used to semaphore. Yes, in the forces, John. That's right. Before your old, in my old job, yeah, signal with flags. That's right. And in racing parlance, it's when they put the numbers up after the race, and it's, winner is number 1, blah 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 blah. Also known as a semaphore board, as I recall. Hi SF, how you doing? Good to have you on board. Let me just refresh this screen over here so I've got full view of what I'm doing. Okay. It is, of course, Tuesday. Very handy on the firing range. Yes, we are shooting. Actually, I've got a rifle range less than a kilometre from me, believe it or not. Don't know how I put myself in that position, but they actually shoot in the opposite direction, I've got to say, which is a damn good thing. Righto, why am I trading the pound long? Well, basically, if we go back here, we're at a bad position to trade the pound long. But if it happened to break out, then happy days. That's a monthly chart, however, that I'm looking at. Weekly chart, we've had a little bit of a retrace back into the bottom of that range, and that's primarily why I'm trading it. We've come off the bottom of the range, off the monthly pivot, and essentially we've got a higher low in place, and this bar here is a second higher low. The only thing we don't have is a higher high. Perhaps we're about to produce one of those. We shall see. I haven't got a whole lot that's new, but I do have this one, and it is Euro Aussie. Now, Euro Aussie today on the daily chart displayed to me a buying bar, and therefore I'm selling, of course. Why am I selling? Well, I'll show you why. You can probably see it here. If I put a rectangle around the range, which is roughly there, what do I see? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little what? Guys, 3 little what? Perfect. 3 little Indians. Now, when I see 3 little Indians, I fully expect that the range will be broken properly to the opposite side that I see 3 little Indians. So if I see 3 little upside down Indians, then I expect it's going to break to the high side. But in this case, I expect it's going to break the low side, which it has done, and found support. Not just the monthly pivot is support here. It's a pretty damn strong level. Right through here, it's been resistance, been support. So this is, in my mind, an inflection point. So if I'm wrong, I don't expect I'll get taken into the trade. But if I'm right, then we're going down here, I believe. And it's on that basis that that I'm keen to get into this. So it is, I don't think there's a lot of risk involved in it, frankly, because as I said, if this bar is recognised by the market as a buying bar, and I'm sure certain parts of the market will recognise that, then this will just keep going and probably look for new highs. But if I'm right, or not necessarily right, if they're wrong, let me put it that way, then I think we've got a good shot at getting something out of this. And it's a nice liquidity point as well. There's no question. So what else have we got? That's Euro Aussie. Everything else is pretty much the same. I said to you guys yesterday, if you're in Euro Swiss from last week and didn't get a TP1 courtesy of the gap over the weekend, which I imagine you would have if you have an EA running, or indeed if you're awake at the time, I didn't. So therefore, I simply moved my stop to entry immediately, which is my thing. If I don't get TP1, and I should have got TP1, then I just go to entry. If I get taken out, doesn't matter. But I think it's in a reasonable place anyway. So that's where we're at on Euro Swissy. Everything else, gee whiz, I can make a case for the long and the short on just about everything I've looked at. Confusing market, Ash, for me. How you doing, mate?
Well, yeah, I completely agree with you, actually, mate. It is a confusing market. The FTSE really has to be a long, but I just don't fancy it. I still wonder whether Thursday's the big thing. Cryptocurrencies are getting absolutely obliterated at the minute, and
really?
Yeah, Bitcoin down at 32,000 now, and and I think further detail, from China, and there was something else actually that's harmed the crypto market. I think it might be something to do with this this story that the US has managed to recover. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was that many Bitcoin, but because of the value of Bitcoin, it ended up being quite a lot of money. I think about 60 Bitcoin or something from the dark side network that held them at ransom, held the energy at ransom.
That's right.
Yeah. So they've managed to recover that money, and it's things like this, because we're continuously getting these links to nefarious organizations. It's things like this that I'm sure the crypto market is wondering when the regulation's coming, and when the regulation comes, it may well kind of change the perception of cryptocurrencies and their use case scenario. Who knows? But the crypto market is getting a bit of a caning at the minute.
Well, that makes an interesting conversation with Shukri a bit later.
It does, mate, and it's one of those things that these things happen to any asset class, where you'll just get a slew of news that are all in one direction, and that's what's been happening with the crypto market recently. The news has all been in one direction, which is all bad, really. That there hasn't been too much in the way of relief for quite some time. So there is an opportunity, I think, for everybody to take profit. Hanan, how you doing, buddy? I think there's an opportunity for people to take profit in the crypto market, and possibly reassess which price they want to get back in at. It's not over by any stretch, but certainly in the doldrums right now, which is great. Good morning, Lewis. Which is great, because it means we do get the better price. Let's talk a little bit about the FTSE, because the FTSE yesterday did not comply with what I was looking for at all. But I did stay in the trade, and now this does actually move on to I suppose in some respects, a different strategy. It's not this isn't a trade the open kind of thing. And if we were to trade the open, then I'd have to suggest that we were more likely to look for the long than the short. You got out of 34K on Bitcoin. It's probably wise, Lewis. I wonder whether Bitcoin needs to drop to 20,000. We can have a look at that in a moment as well. this is what I've done with the FTSE. I am looking to take profit quite early, but this might change. I might leave this one on and leave it run if it does start to really collapse. But there just seems to be a bit of a shifting in sentiment that appears to be happening right now. It's not anything that extreme, but the messaging is, as you said earlier, a little bit clouded, and we are getting a bit of chop. And if we look at the FTSE, really we should be looking for long. The kind of information here is that we should look for long, and the only reason I'm not looking for long is that I'm just not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with the long at all. We could probably look for around about 10 pips to the upside with a stop at the lows, and be relatively comfortable that that would be the better course of action. There are a lot of pivots below the current price.
Didn't like the first hammer there, mate.
This one here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that hammer purely because it's outside of UK Open. Not the and it's kind of back to that question of when is a signal bar a signal bar. These are all signal bars for somebody, but they are not for me, because I'm trying to get as much information on the market as possible. The information right now, I think you rightly point out, suggests technically that we have a bounce point and we should be looking for upside. The heat map, if you like, is also pointing to upside, and as I say, I suspect we're probably going to this area. My problem is maybe the Thursday release, maybe the longer term picture, China, the Asian market, and the session didn't do too well. The Euro Stock 600 is also at all-time highs, so I think there probably is that upside to, that the upside is probably most likely, but I'm just not trading it, and I'm not even going to say I'm not comfortable with it. I probably would be comfortable with it, but I'm just not trading. I'm choosing to sit on the sidelines right now and wait for, I suppose, the market to turn in the direction that I think it's probably going to go ultimately, which is lower. Now I could be completely wrong on that, and if that happens, then I'd like it to really settle above these highs probably, and then I'll feel a bit more comfortable about maybe one more push long. But I'm just thinking that this is a sell zone. This whole area just feels like a selling area. So I'm not comfortable with a long. Not really that comfortable with a short either, because we got these pivots trapping us in, and the signals are for further upside. But as I say, mate, I just wonder whether we're waiting on Thursday. I wonder whether we just actually need to just take a few days off and not get caught up in stuff that we don't want to get caught up in.
Most likely that's the case. I think the thing that does get to me, when I say get to me, it's just part of trading. I'm not concerned about it. But the thing that most comes to my mind is it's not just ambling. It's setting up in both directions for me. Yes. Anyway, the currencies are. So I'm getting signals that this is going long. I'm getting signals that this is going short.
Yeah.
And it's either pick one and close your eyes, or stay out of the market for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
That's kind of where I'm at.
It does feel like it could go in either direction, and I suppose that's what I'm struggling with. If we're looking for I suppose comfortable and defined signals, they're just not here. They just haven't really arrived at this stage, and I'm completely with you. As I say, the short term still looks like it wants to pop higher. It's the long term that I'm concerned with the downside at, and I suppose I'm a bit concerned that I might get caught in something which just starts to tank. But trading on the short term, that shouldn't really be an issue, and I probably should really be looking at the long, but I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait until Thursday and see if I get a bit more clarity. If we have just a look around as well at some of the other markets, oil is interestingly coming off a little bit from its highs. Unable to get to the 70,000. I think it got 69.97 on the futures, so unable to get to its highs, but does look like it might start to retrace a little bit, and that will drag the FTSE lower. from that point. If we have a look at what's going on with the Nasdaq as well, Nasdaq is also at a very interesting level. This level here, even though pierced and it did get a close above that particular point, it's kind of still within the range because of this top tail here, and you can probably make out, without me having to prompt anybody, that there is a head and shoulders up here as well. So we do have a bit of a reversal pattern going on here with the Nasdaq. So I'm wondering whether we might start to see some downside again on Thursday. It looks like we're going to have plenty of time to trade that if that does eventually unfold. The S&P a hair breadth away from making fresh highs, but you can see that it is new high. You know, it is at the highest point that it's ever been at. So another point that that does start to suggest that it could come down. The dollar index has got to be interesting, because if the dollar starts to get a move to the upside, the likelihood is those equities are coming down. And we both said yesterday that the dollar actually looks pretty good on the technical basis, and it's just waiting for the catalyst. I really like the dollar. If I was going to like put my neck on the block, I'd be looking for something against the dollar. I'd want to trade the dollar long.
Don't do that, mate. I need you here next week.
Well, not wanting to really get into the currency space while I'm you know, effectively testing out this new approach that I've got.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't trade it, but if I was trading a currency right now, it would definitely be the US dollar for the upside. I don't like anything else anywhere near as much. It's just winding up like a coiled spring at this stage and just waiting for something to get it to explode. But that would suggest equities lower. If we look at the VIX, it's just not helping, because the VIX is really a kind of pushing back down to these lows that we saw in 2019. Not confident about the VIX, and we need the VIX pop into the upside if those equities are going to have any kind of significant move lower. Gold is also holding on to its gains as well, so maybe that's indicating something afoot. Lloyd was talking earlier on in a chat that I've got with him, where and he was kind of like pointing out that the Chinese are accumulating a lot of dollars. They've got more dollar reserves than ever before, I think he was saying, or maybe certainly since quite a few years. Is that indicating something? I suspect it probably is. If we look for extremes in the market, yeah. But what are they doing? Are they doing it because they're anticipating a dollar long, so they'll have more buying power, or are they doing it to flood the market with dollars to kind of push the price down? I mean, it's
well, yeah. Take your pick of why, but it'll be control in some shape or form. There's no question about that. Yeah, absolutely, John. In my opinion, that, you know, wars are not just battles over or not over, but with weapons. And I think, you know, Asia, Japan learnt that and came back with, you know, the tech revolution, and absolutely dominated for years because of that. And I think China now are positioning themselves perfectly with what they're doing. They're holding a lot of gold. They're holding a lot of dollars. They own, when I say own, they control the largest coal port in the world in Newcastle, Australia, where I'm from.
Yeah,
and
they're manipulating the crypto market as well at the minute.
Yeah, so, you know, it's a smart play. It's very much a smart play. As you say, Ash, I'm not sure how that unfolds at the end of the day, but I think it's worth thinking about. Certainly worth putting into your calculations, I believe.
Yeah, and it does make you know, without knowing the reasons, it makes it tricky to kind of figure out what is going on. We know what are they up to? Who knows? But there's something afoot, and it's something else that makes me a little bit nervous about equities at this stage, even on the short term, which is probably a bit ridiculous in many respects, because it shouldn't matter. But you know, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those points that that you end up overthinking, or I end up overthinking, And one of the reasons I think it's worth admitting that is that if overthinking starts coming into trading, the best thing to do is just sit on your hands, and that's what I'll do, because eventually the dust settles and the mind becomes clear again. And if that needs to be waited for before money is risked, then that's what needs to be waited for, because there's always an opportunity. It doesn't matter if it's today, it doesn't matter if it's in 6 days, it doesn't matter if it is in six weeks or 6 months. There will be a nice clean opportunity, and if it's a point to kind of clear the head a little bit, then I'm okay with that. And the fact that you're seeing this sideways price action, doesn't know if it wants to go higher, doesn't know whether it wants to go lower, and I'm seeing the same thing, suggests to me that there's something that's worth waiting for. My opinion in it's probably on Thursday. I think that those CPI numbers are going to be pivotal to some trends that might then get established, and it may well be about the dollar pushing higher. And if that's the case, then we might see one blow off top in the equities, and then they start to roll over a little bit. But it might not be. But as I say, better to kind of do nothing and wish you were in than wish you were out.
I'll try overnight to do some market structures, because they're still working just fine, in my humble opinion. Finding entries is the hard part, because there are cases in both directions. And when I say that, it's not necessarily on the same time frame. And I'll give you, for instance, a bit later. But I'm seeing things on daily charts that are suggesting that the market's going long, yet I'm seeing things on weekly and 4-hour charts that are suggesting the market's going short. So that's the confusing part. If I can tie that in to ranges or market structures, then I can trade it. But until such times as that becomes clear, as you say, Ash, if it's not clear, don't trade it.
I think so. I see Shukri's in the room with us, mate. Should we bring him in, because I'm really interested to know what is going on. Hello, mate.
Hello. Where is
G'day,
Big
buddy.
O? Where is Big O?
Big O?
Big O? Was
Yeah.
he supposed to be here?
Where is he from?
Oh, yeah, where they're having trouble. What's it called? El Salvador.
He's from the best country in the world now.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Aren't they having problems over there?
Well, they're adopting, aren't they? They're adopting Bitcoin.
That's what I mean. Isn't that a problem?
No.
Well, actually,
Just kidding.
Well, this is the thing, mate. I mean, you know, Jeff and I just been talking about the crypto market here, the crypto space here. Bitcoin having another push lower. Now, I think it would be really healthy for Bitcoin to be down around about 20,000. The question is it possible that it gets there, or have we created this this low here back in January to be the bottom? You know, are we at the bottom of this particular thing, in your opinion, of course, or do you think 20,000 is a possibility?
Are you familiar with the Wyckoff distribution?
Now, the Wyckoff distribution method, if you remember a few weeks ago, I was trying to remember a name of a method that people were doing in the market, and it was the Wyckoff method that I was trying to remember. So yes, I am very aware of the Wyckoff method.
Yeah, so if you look at the distribution pattern, and this also goes with Bitcoin, if this holds, there should be one last thing that freaks you out. I don't know whether it's this one, but you know, if you look at it here, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3. So is this the one? Is this the one that freaks us out? You don't see it here, but you see it more on the 4-hour chart.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that is the question. But wherever Bitcoin can go, it is definitely possible. But that broke this important, you know, that important trend line that we were following.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's the last push down that scares everybody out. Remember, because this is crypto and this is Bitcoin, and it likes to play tricks on you. It has to trick a lot of people into giving up if it wants to push up. Similarly, if it wants to push down, the whole world needs to be convinced that it's going up. It's something that's just a Bitcoin thing. Ethereum,
it's also a sentiment thing. You could be looking at a version point there.
Yeah. It is.
So
it is.
what's the main driver here, mate? I mean, I was saying to Jeff that there seems to be a slew of things right now that are just against the crypto market. We had the ransomware story overnight. We've got
Elon,
is it? Say that again, mate.
Elon, don't forget Elon. He's become public enemy #1.
Yes, he's become public enemy #1. Yeah, there's all sorts of things going on right now. So, is there one driver, or are we genuinely looking at a few that seems to be taking us down here? But
the thing with Bitcoin is this: it doesn't matter what news it is. During a bad time, even the smallest thing might push things down, and even the best things will not push it up. During the good times, even the bad things will push it up, and that's just the way it is. So I think this is just another cycle in the history of Bitcoin, but we have to complete the Wyckoff. Now it's accumulation phase, right? If we want to go up, because we have completed the Wyckoff distribution. So you should, we cannot be hoping for another thing. You can't have another pattern that would be wrong.
Yeah. So what's your counsel, mate? What's your counsel here? Is it just wait it out, or try and pick some up down here?
For those who want, I would try to get a little bit here. Then whatever happens. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah. Because,
so that's what you're looking at now. The coin of the moment seems to be is it Solana?
Yeah, it is Solana. It is Solana, and because the new IDOs are coming out for Solana. It is going to be an ecosystem that I think will be just as big as Polkadot is.
Right.
Which is good. At least we have a good competitor there. And after this, of course, Polkadot is going to its own new phase now with the Kusama crowd loans and all that. And after this, it's going to be ADA. These three are going to be very, very big. So that's why what you see now, if you put in, does this chart have Ethereum versus Bitcoin pair?
No.
Okay, because the Ethereum versus Bitcoin pair will show you if the alts are moving at all. And this is like 2017, where there is still interest in alts, whereas in the past you would see that if Bitcoin were to crash this hard, the alts would be crashing even harder.
Right.
But now it seems that the alts are holding on very well. Having said that, if Bitcoin goes up by a lot, then the alts would be crushed also, but we kind of see less of that now. So you want to look at the Ethereum Bitcoin pair to make sure that it's going up. And we still have that pattern now. But Ethereum has been disappointing again. It didn't break the trend line again yesterday. Right? That's why I would say that Ethereum is very difficult to trade. It is so difficult to trade.
Yeah, interestingly, Ethereum's holding, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Ethereum is holding. It's not like Bitcoin, right? So
difficult
again,
to find
because
out.
I think the people now are focusing their attention on Ethereum. Why? Because of but you're not in London, right? Ash, you're in Brighton. Okay, sorry,
I'm in Brighton. Yeah.
This is not about Brighton. This is about London. EIP 1559, July 14th, or was it July 15th? So that means that the cost of gas goes down, and there's nothing the miners do can stop this. So that's something that is something that everyone is looking forward to. So that's good. There is something around Ethereum as a utility. Well, Bitcoin is always like gold, right? It is the goal of the crypto world. Yes, people are trying to make it be useful by putting it on the Ethereum blockchain or even the Polkadot blockchain, because I saw that on this Kusama implementation of Karura. So that's fine. But it's not like they're bringing Bitcoin to Polkadot to do something useful. They're bringing Bitcoin to Polkadot, so you have Bitcoin there. That means if you freak out in the crypto world, you can also go to USDC, USDT, and you go to Bitcoin.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Bitcoin. How much is it retraced now?
Ooh, a lot. This is
the high.
Big. What's 64 minus 33?
Right, so we're halfway, basically, right? 50%.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's more than the usual 37 to 40% in the normal bull run. So that is a concern. Does it break down more than that?
Right. That was my next question, which
Yeah,
you've now
right.
answered. Now, the next question after that
Uh-huh.
is the next question after that is the last time, and
Yeah.
I don't know if there has been,
Right. Yeah,
I
there has
think
been the
pretty
last
sure
time.
there has been one at
Yeah.
least where it's gone
Yeah.
more than 50%.
Yeah.
When that happened,
Mm-hmm.
can you remember the circumstances around it?
I did.
And
That was the end of the bull run. That was the peak was December. Was it December 17th, 1 week before Christmas? And then it just all the way down. It went all the way down. But after that, after Bitcoin hit the peak, we had a very powerful alts rally led by Ethereum and the rest that lasted around until July the following year. So
was there a kickstart or it was just a market?
it was just the
market
market.
does?
It had gone too high. It had gone too high. So what
No,
happened?
no, sorry, I don't mean it coming off. I mean it going back.
No. It took how many years to get back? It took many years to get back. But the end of the bull market was not at the Bitcoin peak and at the Bitcoin crash. It was 6 months after that. And that's why I always look at the Ethereum Bitcoin.
When you're saying the bull market, you mean the crypto bull market?
Yes,
or
the crypto bull market. I'm talking about the crypto bull market. I'm talking.
I can say it hasn't ended yet.
No. It hasn't. Even if that 64 were the peak, I always say if 64 were the peak, then I think this run will end in December. If not, then it will go forward until June next year.
Why do we believe that, Shukri? I mean, because I hear this a lot that the crypto the bull run for cryptos has got another 3 to 4 months to go. Why have we got this opinion that that there's still movement to the upside with cryptos? Why aren't we saying that the bull run is now over? Why don't we say it's maybe ended early? Why are we confident that that it's not finished?
Because now I think when you talk, that's why it's always Bitcoin and crypto are interchangeable. Right. So what people are saying is, regardless of what happens to Bitcoin, you still have Ethereum and the rest, like the Solanas of the world, that have done nothing yet. They don't have an ecosystem yet. Right. The ADAs of the world, because our good friend Charles is late in August. Thank God for that. We like him for that. We like him for that. Yeah. He didn't wreck us.
Simon's prompting Eusebius.
Yes, it is. It's like that. These things have not come. These things have not even happened yet. So
I see. So the reason that the bull run is still intact is because there are still developments going on. But then why wouldn't there be further? So ADA. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Right. Ethereum. Carl Icahn already said he would buy 1.5 B of Ethereum. London is coming up on July 14th or 15th. Yeah. And that will bring the cost of gas down. So that is something else. That will drive DeFi, right? That is going to drive DeFi. Now, the thing is, there's no DeFi in Bitcoin anyway. Yeah. So I don't know that in the next bear market, I know that there will still be DeFi. And I'm saying that worst come to worst, I will stake like John staking in UST and getting 20% a year. I'll be happy, man, no matter what market is going on around me. I will be a happy camper regardless. It's not like the last bull market, because see, the last bull market was this. In retrospect, people like me and the other players were really stupid. But at that time, you have to remember there was no such thing as DeFi. We didn't know where the market was going to. There was USDC, USDT, and all that, but it wasn't that popular. It wasn't and it's not like crypto companies had all this financial controllers from the old world who would see something that was unstable and put it to a stable coin. So everyone collected in Ethereum and held the Ethereum, and that caused permanent damage. Now I know it's different. Now, listen to me. It's different now, but I still think there will be a crash eventually. But during a crash, a company that is that has collected funds for development in Ethereum, Polkadot, or whatever, can convert it to USD, right? If it's in Akala, there's AUSD. If it's USDC, USDT, there's so many of these, so there's no excuse. If not,
Yeah.
please hire me and John as a financial controller. Our task is only to convert it to USD, USDC, USD, and find a good place for it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So with the developments that are coming out, this is one of the reasons we think the bull run's still going on.
Yeah.
But why would the
very selective? I think it's going to be very selective. If it's not,
Right.
it's, only certain things, and that's why.
Well, let's think about ADA for an example. So
Yeah.
ADA's going to be launching potentially in September. So they've got this they've got this.
Charles is not going to be happy. He said 31st of August.
He did say the 31st of August, but we know with Charles Hoskinson, he's a man who takes his time, right? He never ever releases early. So he's going to break this thing as much as he possibly can, and I think the ADA community are all comfortable with waiting, because the ADA community know how this stuff goes. They know they're always waiting, and they know there's always a delay. So they're okay with that. But when that eventually launches, is it Gogan? Is that one Gogan?
Gogan, yeah.
Okay, so when Gogan eventually launches, at that point, it really does open up the floodgates of development, because then we've got Haskell programmers that understand NFTs and everything else. So that's going to be the big one, but there's going to be something else and something else and something else. This is where they're going to start getting some developers that are actually going to be starting to write specifically on Cardano and ADA. So how come that particular event and those particular news events won't continue the market moving?
Those will definitely continue. I think there'll certainly be a lot of development, and unlike 2018, 2019. As they development, provided John becomes a financial controller, they're not going to go bust. Now, let me tell you the difference between now and September, because you just named the date of September. Now, if you want to go into an ADA IDO, you still collect in Ethereum. That's not cool. That's not cool.
No.
After that date, you have to collect in ADA, so that will push ADA up also.
Right. Well, this is something that is irking some of the community, I think, with ADA, because you've got what was that? There is something launching, but it's decided to launch an ERC20, so it is kind of hedging its bets. I can't remember the development, but it's hedging its bets, and I think that may well be the biggest problem for ADA. Will people just write purely for Cardano? And if they don't, then it won't have anywhere near the significance that I think the community probably think it will have.
There is a way now. I think the answer in that lies in, you have to ask, what is the moonbeam of ADA? Now, moonbeam is something on Polkadot. It's going to be a parachain on Polkadot, and it basically allows you to develop on Ethereum, and then port it to Polkadot. So we need that. Not merely a bridge, but something like that, so that the code you really do not have to change. And let me show you how far this has developed, which is this is quite cool. And I'm sure ADA will have this one day. I mean, at the end of the day, we still have to respect that most of the developers are on Ethereum anyway. So
yes, they are. Yeah.
So you look at Demodify here. This is something called Demodify. Look, the cross-chain AMM DEX. This is like a decentralized exchange built on Moonbeam. That's cool. So it's on Polkadot. That means they have Ethereum. They have Ethereum people. That's good. You don't need to retrain people. You know, I mean, Rust, which is used to program Polkadot, is not easy. It is not something easy to do. Let me tell you that. It's not really. So this is good. This bridges the thing. And the best thing of all, look at this. There is going to be, Simon would know this, right? Simon would know this. There's an IDO even on Demodify. So we know from this that, hey, Moonbeam actually works. So as far as Polkadot is concerned, the good thing is they have something that is currently working, which is called Moonbeam, that people are building on. There's another competitor here called Clover. So you have choices. And I'm very sure that ADA has to have this too. I mean, you cannot exclude Ethereum from the game. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, agreed. With Solana coming into play, mate, is there a new, but potentially a new challenger in town that
Yes,
actually
yes.
starts to, potentially dissolve and distill kind of, the likes of Polkadot and the likes of
Yes,
Cardano?
yes. Solana, Solana is Sam Beckman-Fried. There's Matic that's doing this thing. I mean, you talk about Matic. Matic is
Right.
now, the number of users in Matic has flipped Binance.
Really?
Yeah, so there's many things going on under this radar. So that's why I see that if you look, if you see where that bull run will continue. I mean, take Bitcoin out of the equation. Bitcoin is gold.
Yeah.
Bitcoin now, Ainsley can handle it. We're not interested. We're only interested in the rest. Right?
Yeah.
So the thing is this: as long as that Ethereum goes up against Bitcoin, others will follow. That is good. So Matic and I think Matic is now actually the leader. It's not even Binance Smart Chain anymore. If you talk about the challenges, Matic, but I think Solana being well funded will definitely do very, very well. But this again creates a different problem, which is we have a class on wallets on Sunday, which is free, which we are repeating because now you have this complexity. You can't use MetaMask for this. For this Moonbeam or Moonbeam crowd loan or whatever. And Solana, soon you'll have to use Solid wallet. Here you have to use Polkadot JS wallet. There's no more MetaMask. They're not running on Ethereum anymore. They do not want to do whatever project you said was that people are getting all angry, right? Why are you using Ethereum? And for ADA, you'll have to use the Yoroi Daedalus wallet. This is it. So this is a major change. Suddenly you have to know all these wallets. Oh my God, things have changed a lot. And I think companies are doing their best to actually make this simpler. Because
is it possible that they eat themselves, mate? Is it possible that you got Ethereum there, the top of the hill, they're the king of the hill right now, and then you've got the likes of Cardano, ADA, you've got Polkadot, you've got Solana, and is it Matic as well, and possibly others, all circling around the outside. Is it possible that they end up eating each other and Ethereum actually manages to win purely because you've got all these little fights going on below them?
That's why I say that for all of Charles being late, he's actually very clever. He goes to Africa.
Yes, mate. Oh well, I mean that is one of the most attractive aspects I think of ADA is the African deal, and the reason that I say that is that forget cryptocurrencies.
Wow.
Just think about the world economy and which area is still hugely rich but untapped, and it's Africa. So if you're trying to get the next China or the next Brazil or the next India, it's right there for you. So you don't need to kind of worry about, what do I invest in Africa? Don't worry about it. Just go and buy some ADA because they'll do it all for you effectively.
Yeah, they're doing it. And he's taking a risk. He's taking a risk because you don't know the payment terms there. But the fact that he can take the risk is good. That means if ADA wins big because nobody's in Africa because he's the first.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And it's, I always kind of have this thing about the analogy about an antique shop. If you want to own an antique shop, where do you go and own it? Do you go and buy? Do you go and own it do you go and open an antique shop in a village where there's no antique shops, or in a village where there's quite a few? And of course, the answer has to be that you own it where there's quite a few, because if people are going to antiques to look for antiques, they're not going to go to one town. They're going to for one shop. They're going to go to the other town and just pop into all the shops. But you make sure that you do something different in your shop than everybody else is doing. But if you are going to have the most successful antique shop, then the chance that you have to think, okay, that's where the risk is. In that one, where there's only going to be one of them, that's where the risk is. But if people come there, we're going to be able to sell to everyone. And that's effectively what Hoskinson's done, isn't he? He's gone, right, forget competing with you guys over there. I'm just going to take myself over here. And if it goes, it's going to go. Is Solana also doing something similar? Is this why we're looking at this?
Solana is like this. Solana is supported by the richest man in crypto, Sam Beckman-Fried. So his empire is a lot. He can put it together. Now, This is actually the, let me draw a layer here, okay? This is the blockchain, okay, which is good because he has a lot of tools above this because, you know, when you talk about, okay, this is the blockchain, which is good. When you talk about DEX, right? He has like Radium, he has Serum, he has Sushi, he has a lot of toys, you know. So
he owns all this stuff.
He owns all this stuff. So
The
he has
company.
a lot of things, and he is like Alameda, and Alameda is really one of the biggest investors like VCs in town. So those are big. Those are big. But Solana is what he has declared that he is using to challenge Ethereum. So it's not like that he's going to come with a SAM blockchain. Of course, if he comes with a SAM blockchain, I'll go for it. But for now, the SAM blockchain is Solana.
Right.
That's good, you know. And
what's Solana's so we know about you know the guys that are kind of running Ethereum. We know about the guys that are running Polkadot. We know so we know Charles Hoskinson. We know about Gavin Wood. Who's the guy kind of like behind this? Is that guy you're talking about, the richest guy? Is he also a programmer and a developer? Is he?
I don't know whether, you know, he was kind of like a fund manager, but you have to remember he is the 13th biggest donor to President Biden's campaign, and the second in tech after the Google co-founder. So, hey, that puts it in a good position because Google big tech is somewhere else. This guy is somewhere else.
Yes.
And the loan in crypto, and I'm sure that there is a room for crypto, and when they do announce the room for crypto and Solana goes deep, I'm sure that it will be led by Sam for sure.
And so they've got money, they've got the backing. Who's the team? Who's getting this thing off the ground? You know, who's developing? Who's the development team?
They're very good. Yeah, among all these is very now. Let me tell you why I like this. They can get the developers from Solana, this company. But one thing they've done is this: they can also buy up companies. Now, this is what they've done. Now, let me tell you what Sam has done, which is good. You know, which I think is good. You gotta really, how do you say it? You gotta really give, you gotta really salute this guy. This is something that I think he built his name on. Do you know that Sushi Swap was a rug pull?
Was it what, sorry?
Rug pull. People put money in Sushi Swap.
Yep.
And then one guy pulled it out, Chef Maki or something, because, you know, they cook sushi. They pulled it out, the money, and then he put it back in. I don't know what he was doing. So that thing totally got wrecked. But Sam Beckman-Fried came in and rescued the projects. This guy actually gave the key to Sam.
Right.
So people are like forever, hey, this guy has built a very loyal community because they say, hey, it's not only about money. He saved our, we can't say it here because this is PG-13, but he saved our whatever he used to.
Yeah. So Simon's saying about speed, which I totally get, but you know, we also know that when they increase one aspect of the trifecta or whatever they call it, something's got to give. Are they going to be giving the decentralized aspects? I know they're talking about outsourcing it, aren't they?
Let me show you SolPad. I mean, SolPad just got listed. You know, SolPad is actually one of the launch pads for Solana. It only finished off in like 1 second. So that's good. I think they are also coming out with a couple of more IDOs on Solana. So this is good. It has just started. And we don't even know how, you know, it's trading on Radium. We don't even know how this will be. See, the first launch pad on Solana. So this is good. At least there is something here already. And Simon can remember, right? This is like Polkastarter was last December or something. There's like so many things that can go wrong, but this is what we love because when we see all this, we say, hey, this is the start of something.
Right.
So if you guys want to be where Simon was, you got to be in this Solana and these things. Because they have just started, you know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how good the wallet is going to be. I mean, ask Simon. I mean, I wasn't impressed with Polkastarter when it started, but look at it now.
Well, this is what I'd like to this is what I'd like to try and understand, mate.
Yeah.
What's the experience of the team that are doing, are working with Solana? Because that's the only way that we can get some kind of gauge of what the wallet will be like and what the potential success of it. Because throwing money at something does not make it successful. So I understand that he's got deep pockets.
Yeah.
But what else? I mean, this is what.
Yeah, the other thing that you want to look like, you're right. I think this is the big test, right? Just like you saw just now, Moonbeam. Something is developing on Moonbeam. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And when something develops on Moonbeam that goes to IDO, that's a big deal. We really could not see this before because basically there was the Solana ecosystem was not really. If you were outside, you really couldn't see it. But now with SolPad and SolStarter, you will start seeing it. So here's the deal. This is what I think would happen based on Polkastarter. You're going to see something like this. You still can't judge it because it's going to go up because it's new. And then you're going to see a dump later. And then only if it can go back up after this dump, then you can really confirm, okay, they actually did something. That's the only way to see it. Because now it's so new. I think people are running here. This one will be successful no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like Polkadot, right? Now is the time of the test for Polkadot. But of course, Polkadot, Gavin Wood's very clever. Now he's coming out with a different kind of IDO called a crowd loan. Yeah, I heard Simon sucked. I don't know. Aren't the Moonbeam ambassadors lucky? I heard that. So again, I think this is going to be successful, but that's not the test. Wait until it dumps after the initial enthusiasm goes down, and then the projects that go up you'll see the ones here. You'll see the ones, and we can only see it in the next few. I think we can already see it in the next month because SolPad I saw already announced 3 new IDOs, which is like wow, this is real IDO season.
Yeah.
And the good thing about this now is that it's good that, that's why I said, thanks, Charles, for delaying it. So ADA doesn't become this exciting,
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose, yeah. I mean, who knows? It might be that that they're all in a bit of a race against time, and they, Cardano may well miss the boats ultimately because they just take too long. I think there's always a danger of that, isn't there?
Yeah. I think Cardano is this. What Cardano has shown since the beginning of time is loyal fanboys.
Yeah.
It is proven. They will forgive Charles.
Yes.
They will be loyal no matter what. So
yeah,
I think that is the strength of Cardano,
yeah.
Up, down, up, down, up, down. Cardano will always be there.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, mate. I think you're probably right.
You're kind of not sure this Polkadot thing. But Polkadot has it because Gavin is very smart. Gavin is the one that invented the code and the programming language for Ethereum. So he's done a lot of innovation, that to stay ahead of the crowd. But yeah. that word against Gavin Wood. He's very clever. He invented the Ethereum programming language.
Is that against are you talking about Charles Hoskinson, Simon, or are you talking about Gavin Wood? Yeah. I think it is a bit of a cult, I have to say.
Correct. I don't know why ADA has that thing,
Yeah.
And come up and say all this. Sorry, Simon. All these things that don't make sense. I'm not going to mention what I want to mention that don't make sense against Ethereum and Vitalik. And man, everyone said, we support you. So don't worry. ADA is waiting for its time in the sun.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely is. It absolutely is. And maybe they get it, and hopefully they do. But I guess this world is still so young and so starting, this world of cryptocurrencies, that there's going to be many other things coming along, and it only takes somebody with a lot of money to kind of speed up the process as well. because a lot of the research that needs to have been done has been done for them. And it's, you know, I guess it's the oldest trick in the book, isn't it? Somebody comes up with a fantastic invention, a big company just wanders it, sweeps itself right into it, and takes that invention and manages to mass produce, and they're the ones that make the money.
Right, and the best thing is this, okay? I think, you know, cryptocurrency companies are also being fair. At least the big ones like Moonbeam, because I want you to see something here. So, see, people know people are going to get crazy over wallets, okay? So this is actually good of them. So if you look at this, look at this in this is Moonbeam, right? Moonbeam actually has told everyone that you do not have to go through the crowd loan through the wallet, to the Polkadot.js wallet. You don't have to do that. Jeff doesn't have to do that. And that's why I have to ask Jeff, and I have to ask John here, because they're in the same age group. But would you want to go through the wallet, having to download the wallet from here, and then having to do a lot of funny things on the wallet? And then, you know, because here's the deal, guys, here's the deal. Nothing is perfect. The problem with going through a wallet, okay, I'm going to go to El Salvador here a while, which is here, and downloading this extension is not this, is that Jeff and John, during a bear market, you guys might lose the keys. This is a problem, okay? This is not only many people lose keys. The good thing is now Moonbeam, because it's big, of course, now gives you the excuse. Now you can go through Kraken here. Yeah, you see that? Kraken to support the Moonriver crowd loan. And you can go through KuCoin. Now, let me tell you the advantage here. Now, of course, when you go to Kraken or KuCoin, I think there will be a slight commission. I don't know what it is. But here's the deal, because we've been through this before, right? Because we're now more clever now, right? Here's the deal here now. So you have a choice here. That's why I like to know what Jeff and John think. This is much simpler. Now, we went before, right? We had this thing called XYM. The simple way was through Binance, but then they kept this for very long. They didn't give it. So if we go to KuCoin, might KuCoin keep Moonriver? I don't know, but if KuCoin lists Moonriver, then it's good. Or we go to Polkadot.js, and then we can bring it out to any wallet. Of course, there's more complexity. And to be fair, like last time for the XYM, KuCoin listed Moonriver. So I think this time, by supporting the Moonriver, KuCoin could list Moonriver, and that means that you put your Kusama here, you go through this module in KuCoin, you get it, and then you can sell it off in KuCoin rather than having to go several rounds all over the place, which not many people will appreciate. See, John says he's always losing the keys.
Sounds good to me. Well, yeah. I would definitely lose the keys.
And that's really, that's the thing, John, because, you know, if you, now you might have one to imagine you have many wallets. How in the world are you going to keep track? Well, you can keep track, but one mistake, say you're on a holiday for 1 month or 2 months, let me tell you, when you come back, you're not going to remember things. I'm lucky I write things.
I write every single day. This is my this is my Bible, right? This is my trading Bible.
I hope you don't throw it. So the good thing about
page do I bloody well turn to find the key to all this shit.
That's the thing. That's the thing, right? But in this is it. So let me tell you what happens. What happens? Okay, this is what happens. Good. Jeff writes something. Now, the real case study, what happens if Jeff loses the password and the key to KuCoin? No problem. You know why no problem? Because one day when this is available, we'll do a live show here. And for Jeff to get back his key, KuCoin will ask him, what is the last transaction you did here, Mr. Jeff? So Jeff just goes to YouTube and thought, oh, I did this on this date.
There you go.
And then you get your key back because this is centralized. So it's
so
not.
How do they know you're not me?
No, you will have to give your passport, but it's not enough. You still
I forget them
tell them your last transaction. You
right,
still
okay.
have to tell them what you did there. So that's it. So it's easier because this is not, because they keep your Polkadot.js key for you.
Okay.
So you
This
can
this
always
sounds like something I can do, Shukri, rather
you
than
see, that's good because here, my friend, this is a ghost. Don't ask me. I don't know. This is an alien. Even Gavin Wood doesn't know.
it's all bloody alien to me.
I know, I know. So you can see here where the big companies like Moonbeam give the option for people, and this is good. You know, this is good. Yeah, John said he would have to give the keys to your wife. Yes, this is what people do not know. I know it's cool. Yeah, cool for you to have your keys, but hey, let me tell you that I've seen a lot of people that lose keys. It's not funny. Okay, it's funny when they first lose it. Okay, they first lose it and say, "Oh, I only lost 800." True story. But during the bull run, that 800 becomes 8,000. It's not funny anymore. US, I can tell you that it becomes very depressing because you can't get it back.
Yep. I can see that.
You can see that.
You can see I wouldn't be happy with that. That gives you a very fast dose of the SH1Ts, I would imagine.
I know. So it's good. It's good now that's why I wanted to see you this. So at least now you know crypto, there's an option for the younger people that want to do this, and for the older generation that should be doing this.
So should I be doing this crowd stuff coming up now?
I was
Right?
thinking of going through this, but since I saw this, no need. Jeff, please sign up for KuCoin.
Okay, it's now time to do something, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, exciting.
Go for the KuCoin and just sign up there. That's good. Yeah, this is easier. And then what we will do next time, we'll just transfer your Kusama into KuCoin and let it there, and then you can join the crowd room there. Easy.
Cool.
By next week we will start.
Perfect. Now you've got to look after my wife on Saturday. Okay, she's going to do your course on Saturday.
Okay, cool. Saturday or Sunday? I thought it was Sunday. Yeah, keys.
Oh, it could be Sunday. I don't know.
Keys. Yeah, that's right. Keys. Yeah, keys. Oh, wow, you guys are clever. I have to use that as a model. I don't have a wife. I need a wife to look after my keys. Now I know. Men, when we grow old, we can't look after the keys. Thanks, guys.
What can you do, Simon? Look after my wife.
Look after the keys.
Don't be like that.
Okay.
Okay, well let's wrap it up. I think we've got the picture for so far. So we're still pretty comfortable with cryptos. Is the takeaway. We don't think it's going to 20,000 on Bitcoin, Shukri. Is that what we're sort of saying here?
I'm saying anything could happen, but if you want to buy, you better buy now half of it. That's what I think.
Yeah, fair point, mate. I think I completely agree with that.
Yeah,
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
We better give you a promo for Sunday. Is it? What are we doing Sunday, or what are you doing Sunday?
Wallets, a lot of wallets. The MetaMask wallet, the Polkadot JS wallet, the ADA wallet, which is Yoroi or Daedalus, and also what is the other wallet? Solana wallet, Solid wallet. Yeah.
So when you say you're doing it, you telling people how to?
Yeah, everyone's setting up their own.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
Don't worry. Tell your wife, don't worry. If she faints after that, we'll have another class because we think a lot of people will faint.
I'm pretty sure she will.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that this stuff is you really do need somebody holding your hand through it that knows their stuff.
Absolutely, no question about that.
I mean, it's not that it's difficult. It's just really niggly, isn't it, Shukri?
Yeah, it is. There's just a lot of things to do, and that's why I say this centralized exchange is good because the centralized exchange gives you an option to, of course they charge a fee for it, but for a fee you can ask someone else to do it, and I think that's worth it. I really think that's worth it.
Mate, can you see the question on YouTube?
I can see here. How will the development of the Launchpad? I think the development of the Launchpad for the new ones would be very good. Like for Solana, again, as I said, the biggest gains in crypto land that I see will be on Solana and ADA. The biggest gains. Doesn't mean that Polkadot doesn't have big gains, but Polkadot is becoming like Ethereum, right? So it's always the new ones. It's always the new ones. And yeah, the next up is Solana. The next up is ADA and all that. And the good thing is some of the launch pads have already included IDOs from other platforms. For example, I see one on Polkastarter, which is also doing an IDO for Matic. And I think that's good. Because they too are adjusting. They know, you see guys, Polkadot has become very boring. That's why Simon is looking for a new home now too. Yeah, he say, hey, I know what he say. Don't fool around. Hey guys, don't fool around with Charles. Okay, we know where Simon wants to be.
Well,
I wouldn't fool around with Charles, guys. Pancake Lord he's now going to be the Ada Lord.
Okay, mate. Well, let's wrap it up. Thanks so much as always. It has been fascinating and informative. So I think the takeaway is that keep believing in cryptos for right now, and don't miss an opportunity to get possibly something at value here as well. You know, it might well come down a little bit further, but it doesn't matter because this is still. I mean, as you rightly say, we're down 50% from the highs. I mean, if that isn't value, if you said that about any other product, in fact, if you said that even about this product 6 months ago, or I should probably say 3 months ago, somebody said, I will offer you, Bitcoin at half price in 2 months. At that particular point, you take it. So why wouldn't you take it now? And the only reason you wouldn't take it now is if you've stopped believing in crypto. But if you believe in crypto and the market and that we're going somewhere, then this is value. So I'm completely
buy
with
it even cheaper?
I beg your pardon?
Do you want to know how to buy even cheaper?
Of course.
There's something called the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, but you need to
Oh,
buy
I've heard of this. Yeah.
and that's like 10% discount.
Okay, so you can have so you're gonna pick up Bitcoin at 3,000 instead of 3,300.
Yeah, instead of
30,000. Sorry.
Pick it up at 30,000, but you need to buy a minimum of 50,000.
So that's the grayscale, right? That's for great people.
And I think there's a lockup period. Of course, there's a lockup period.
Yeah, of course there is. And by the time you've locked up, you probably could have staked your Bitcoin at this particular price and made up that 10%. So
they're clever.
Might not be worth it. Okay, mate, amazing stuff. I better run because I need to meet James. But thank you as always. Thank you to you, Jeff, for being my trading buddy. Thanks for everybody in the room. Thanks to Angel. And I guess we'll wrap it here and go again tomorrow, mate. We might well be waiting for Thursday, but we'll see if we get an opportunity tomorrow.
Yeah, just quickly, the Euro Aussie trade is, I'll put on the screen for those of you who weren't here in the first place, and then I'll get out of here myself. So it's Euro Aussie short at 156.65, stop loss 157.35, take profit 1.5605, and that is the only the pound trade also on the 4-hour chart. We may have to consider cancelling that at some stage. In fact, I won't cancel this until we take out this low. If we take out this low, I'll cancel the order. In the meantime, we're trading above this bar here with our stop loss below that bar there, and they are the parameters. Buying at 1.4184, stop loss is at 1.4165, and TP1 is at 1.4194. The rules at TP1 are take half off the table and move your stop loss the same amount of pips from entry as you took at TP1. The end. Thanks, Shukri. Thanks, Ash, for being me trading buddy, and for everyone else, have a great rest of Tuesday.
Thanks.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah,
and we look forward
to Sunday. Bye.
Oh, Sunday, yes, Sunday for Shukri. Check all those on the ATW website. I think you'll find those, or in the Facebook page, etc. And if that's free, right? I've lost your voice.
You muted, mate.
I want to charge you guys. You guys faint. Like, why did I come here?
Well, do you know what? I mean, the thing is, and to be free is crazy in many respects, because, as I say, and I can't stress this enough. This stuff is it is really tricky if you don't know what you're doing. And not only could you get it wrong, actually you could end up losing money if you put stuff in the wrong wallet and you put stuff in the wrong code and this, that, and the other. So you need somebody holding your hand through this stuff. So if you're into cryptos and you're going to be going on this journey for many years to come, I would strongly recommend you get in there with Shukri.
Yeah, and that's why I say what you said was right. Ash, it's like this, okay? So we see from 2017 Ethereum doing very well. Now here's the deal: out of Matic, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, and ADA, at least one, not all four, but at least one is going to be like Ethereum 2 years from now. It's going to be third behind Ethereum. You don't know which one.
Yes, very good point. Very good point. So we're hedging.
Of course, we now know that the two Brits here, which is Ash and Simon, are. Hey, why are you guys supporting Americans like Charles Hoskinson? I don't know, guys. I understand
Do you know, mate?
I don't understand you.
ADA is the main one for me, mostly because of the ethical aspect of it. I really like the ethics of ADA. But that's why, and it's not really that, you know, I haven't got any huge basis of an argument or theory against any of the other cryptocurrencies, but I do like the ethical aspect of ADA, and I suppose it's another little thing that, you know, if you're giving back a little bit, then you know, ADA's just the area that I've put my eyes, because of I'm really supportive of what he's trying to do in Africa. I think it's fantastic. So
yeah, Charles is someone that, you know, if he doesn't want to do it, even though it's going to cost him money and wealth, he just doesn't do it.
Yeah, and I like that. So you know, that's one of the reasons that I really like ADA. There are others, but that's one of the main reasons for me.
Got it.
Anyway, we will
All
say
right, we're out of
here. Yeah, we're out of here. Yeah.
Have fun, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.